Hello, we are live from Switzerland. Welcome to Pitch Perfect here in Zurich. I'm Ayisha Gulati and I'm joined by Jamie Spangher and Laura Howard. Thanks for joining us, Laura.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks for having me.
You touched down in Zurich when?
Literally on Thursday evening.
Wow, exciting stuff. We're very pleased to have you here. And have you enjoyed the heat? Maybe not?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's
The shower in the evening is probably my favourite part.
nice. Well, it's match day, as you might be able to tell. England are playing. England are in action. It's very exciting. We've been waiting a long time for this. 4 days into the tournament, and England are finally playing. So, how are you feeling about that one, Laura? Wearing your England shirt?
Yeah, I've really mixed emotions. I feel like I can't fully get into the tournament vibe until I've seen them play and started supporting them. So I'm not like really in that, oh my god, the Lionesses are playing through it yet. But yeah, really excited. I think it's going to be a great game. And it's going to be such an interesting.
I believe we're having a slight mic problem, so I'm just going to play a clip from Jamie at last night's match while we get that sorted.
Hello, it is day 3 of the Women's Euro 2025 here in Switzerland, and tonight I've travelled to St. Gallen as 8-time Women's Euros winners Germany take on tournament debutants Poland, and I'm going to take you with me for the ride. Let's go. Hello, first of all, I apologise for the state of me. It's the life of a major tournament journalist. Have to run and get the last train back to Zurich, but full time here in St. Gallen as Germany secured a 2-0 victory over tournament debutants Poland. But the real question is whether German captain Julia Gwynn will be fit after being withdrawn before half-time with a knee injury, the same knee she's previously done her ACL on. So thoughts go to Julia Gwynn, and hopefully she'll be back fit very soon. Good night. Congratulations on the win. How are you feeling?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very good. We are very happy that we won, but Julia Gwynn is now focus. I hope she's fine. I hope everything goes well. So we will see.
Best wishes to her. And I just want to ask you about Poland, because they were quite surprising. It felt like they had a very strong first half. What changed in the second half? Because Germany were much better.
Yeah, they were very aggressive, especially in midfield. It was very tough in the first half. So. We wanted to be more aggressive, to go more forward into the box, so we tried to be in the box with more people, so this is what we wanted to do in the second half, and I think we did it quite well.
And just heading into this group, it's a tough group with Sweden and Denmark. How important is it to get this first win?
Yeah, very important, especially the first game. It's very good to have a win and to have a good feeling for the next games.
And how are you feeling? Because it's been a big 12 months for you with Chelsea winning the domestic treble. Now you're at the Euros, a very young player starting for a very successful country. So just how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very proud to be part of this team, and I hope I can be an important part and try to give every time my best.
Well, that was the Germany game last night.
Mm-hmm.
How did you find that?
It was incredible, to be honest. The Polish atmosphere was absolutely amazing. It was so nice to see thousands and thousands of Polish fans. They were outnumbering the German fans, which you wouldn't expect here in Switzerland. So it was a beautiful moment where these fans were getting around their nation, their first major tournament. And I just thought the entire atmosphere of the game was great. And Poland put on a performance that was worthy of more than a loss. Yeah, I did mention there'd be my dark horse. Yeah, you were right.
I'm still backing that because I'm glad that they were able to give Germany a bit of a run for their money. It felt like they just needed to be a bit more clinical. Did you catch any of that match, Laura?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I thought absolutely Poland were really impressive and held off Germany, and I think it's just that kind of clinical edge that they were lacking in those final third moments. They definitely had chances, which is really promising, and I think against different opposition to Germany, that could definitely pay off. But it was just those decisions in the final third that maybe could change going forward.
Well, We've got a lot of England to talk about, so I'm not going to
lot.
linger on Germany, Poland too much. Just to let you guys know that both our predictions were wrong again.
Great.
You went for a 4-0, I went for a
Yeah.
3-1. At least I got the goal difference correct.
That's true.
Maybe
Half a
maybe a
point.
half a point for that one. And Sweden, Denmark. Sweden came out on top on that one, 1-0. I think the consensus was they probably should have done a bit better. They didn't show what they were made of. But yeah, should be an interesting group because I think both Sweden and Germany maybe underperformed. So there's a bit of room for those other teams.
Yeah, I agree. I reported on that was my report last night from the stadium. I was saying Group C is a lot closer than we may have thought. I think everyone thought Germany and Sweden would fly through, but Denmark and Poland showed that they're not just there to make up the numbers. So I'm very, very excited.
Exciting stuff. Well, we've got to move on because it's match day. It's England. And as we mentioned at the beginning of this, I cannot wait. I've been waiting so long. We've been in Zurich for quite a few days now, just building up to this. We're going to be at the Zurich Stadium. We're all going to be there later. We've got France. You're in your Netherlands kit.
Yeah, I'm just spreading the love.
I know.
The
We're
Group D
just
love.
representing Group D a little bit, but I think secretly she is a lioness. Lioness fan over there. Well, without further ado, I'm going to actually show a clip from yesterday because we were all at Serena Wiegmann's Matchday -1 press conference. Leah Williamson joined her. We've got a few clips from that. And here is what Serena said about a new England.
Yeah, it was our way. I think we've spoken about it several times a couple of months ago. So where we're at, and the team has been a bit in transition, of course. And we absolutely cherish what we have done before. We'll never forget it. And those are lifetime experiences for us and for our families and also for the fans. But you have to move on. And you have to be on top of it. Things are changing very quickly. Things are developing very quickly. So we have to do too. And we came together exactly in February. And then we came to this. That we said, yeah, it's a new challenge. The approach was there anyway, but we called it the New England.
Exciting stuff. Serena Wiegmann there saying that it's a totally new challenge. Obviously, there's some new players there, but there are still some old players. She said it's really important to remember that history, but almost not dwell on it. Going into this tournament, England as the champions, how much pressure does that put on them, Laura?
I think it's really interesting because she also spoke about this and whether the pressure was any different. And she said that she didn't feel like it was. And I think that's a really interesting kind of take on that, because from the outside, it certainly feels like there's more pressure and there's that expectation now. They've reached consecutive finals in major tournaments. They've reached a semi-final in every major tournament since 2015. And that really feels like, okay, we're out here to win it again. But I think it's really interesting how they're doing this New England. It's obviously a kind of psychological thing, but in many ways, it's also true in the sense that there are a lot of players different to 2022, and hopefully they can embody that and kind of come out as that new team and not have that expectation on their back. But it certainly feels from the outside perspective like there is a lot.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's to be expected, right? I think she also said, though, that expectations, she's saying expectations are always high, even when before in 2022, when almost there wasn't that same media attention. She said, well, for us, we have such high expectations of ourselves that it actually makes no difference. So that's an interesting one. And Laura, you touched on it there about the new players. Jamie, from the new set of England players, there's so many exciting ones, but is there maybe one that you're watching?
I think I've got to be really, really obvious with it, but it's got to be Aggie Beaver-Jones. Yeah. I think that she's just been sensational, right? There was this conversation maybe 12 months ago at Chelsea where how does she dislodge these strikers because they've got Myra Ramirez, they've Sam Kerr who's still returning, Kat Macario plays in the 9. There's this big caliber of strikers at Chelsea. And then Aggie Beaver-Jones at her age goes and becomes their top scorer of the season. And it just goes to show that she doesn't feel the pressure as much as maybe everyone expected her to. She scored a hat-trick at Wembley against Portugal not that long ago. So for me, Aggie Beaver-Jones is the Alessia Russo of Euro 2022, where she's going to come off the bench and make an impact when England need her to. So it's almost like there is a New England, but you're rerunning the tape. It does feel like you've got the old guard that have the experienced heads, but then you've got these young players that don't waver, like they don't feel the pressure. So yeah, Aggie Beaver-Jones, I think, will make a real impact. Something that Leah said in that same press conference was around, she was asked how the advice she gives to the younger players who are maybe at their first tournament. And something that was quite interesting was that she said the landscape of women's football has changed so much now. I guess what she meant by that, well, what I took from that was there's more eyes on it, is a lot more pressure. When we did it, it wasn't really like that. So that was an interesting point as well, I thought.
Yeah, certainly. I think that right now, these England players, the difference between maybe the era 10 years ago where these young players weren't getting minutes at club, but they were making up the numbers in the senior squad. These are players like Grace Clinton, Aggie Beaver-Jones, Jess Park. They're starting for clubs, and they're not just starting for clubs, they're starting for the top 4 clubs in the WSL. So these players are professional. And Leah said, like me, when I came into the England squad, I was getting distracted by the country I was in. Whereas these players are business. And she mentioned the fact that they're there to perform, and they know what their job is.
She said lots of shiny things, didn't
Yeah,
she?
exactly.
Well, we have another clip from the press conference now. As we mentioned, Leah Williamson, Lionesses captain, was also there alongside Serena, and she spoke around the fact that she would now potentially be playing with Alex Greenwood in the absence of Millie Bright this tournament.
I think Alex is an exceptional ball player. She sees things that, not many do. She's always at such a high performance. I think when you play next to somebody like Alex, she demands so much of herself and then naturally of you too. So yeah, her experience and everything about her. I mean, she's one of my best mates, so I have a good time playing. But she's also one of those players that you don't want to let down because her level is so consistently high.
And how does she differ to Millie?
To Millie, I think there's loads of differences in terms of. I think that mostly, obviously, the physicality of it. Millie is blessed in ways that people like me and Alex are probably not, and she has those strengths. And I think, we have to do talk in a different way, I suppose.
Yes, of course, Millie Bright, one of those absentees from this team. She captained England in the 2023 World Cup out in Australia and New Zealand. So a big loss, no doubt. The news with the month before the Euros was also that Mary Earps retired, and of course that Fran Kirby retired from international duty, although with her it felt she was not picked by Serena, so that was the reason for that. But Laura, a lot is being made about these absentees. What's your take on it?
I think it's a really interesting one because you have the element of the fact that Mary Earps and Fran Kirby were very likely not to play, and the fact that Alex Greenwood is a very, very able deputy to Millie Bright. Obviously, it's a different style of player, but it doesn't feel like you should be scared about necessarily the playing aspect of it. But I think what maybe really will be the impact is whether those other players can step up and whether they can take on those leadership roles, because those 3 players obviously all have so much experience at major tournament level. We've seen Mary Earps and Millie Bright both take on leadership roles. So not having those figures in the squad, whether that has an impact when you need those level heads, when you need those players to step up, will be seen. But I mean, like Jamie said, there's so much experience that are playing at the top level in the WSL. Really, it shouldn't have an impact, but it will be interesting to see whether that does play a role.
It's almost that dressing room stuff, isn't it? It's not so much on the pitch, but it's that off the pitch. Mary Earps, such a experienced player, knows how to deal with a tournament, those high pressure situations that some of those new players might not, as we spoke about earlier. What's your take, Jamie?
I'm with Laura on the fact that it's not the end of the world because the experience in the squad is there. However, I'm also with you. It's about the dressing room. We've seen Mary Earps these last 2 major tournaments at the Euros and at the World Cup. She lifts England to such new heights. And that's not anything wrong with Hannah Hampton because I think she's an incredible goalkeeper. It's just about the tournament experience. But I guess we have to think about it as the fact with Millie Bright, okay, you're missing a leader. She captained England at the World Cup. She's the Chelsea captain. Alex Greenwood's the Manchester City captain. She just leads in a different way. So I think the biggest question that I ask of England this tournament is how do they adapt to a different style of leader? Because I think Alex Greenwood leads with example, whereas Millie Bright is very vocal. So it's about how those younger players especially can adapt to having a different kind of, not captain, but leader on the pitch.
Yeah, I think we spoke before as well that Alex Greenwood might have even been the choice. She's great, right? So it's like,
there could have been a conversation behind closed doors. Who knows? But anyway, we wish Millie all the best. And I'm sure she'll be watching from home, cheering the Lionesses on,
Yes.
as with all of those other absentees, for sure. Someone else we've got to mention, because Serena gave a really nice hint about her yesterday, Lauren James. She will hopefully be playing more than 30 minutes, was Serena's exact words. She said she can play more than she played against Jamaica, but I won't be giving you the lineup, but make of it what you will, or something. I think I've said enough, something like that, which to me implied maybe a start.
Yeah, I think there was certainly a hint of that, of like, well, I think that'll tell you enough.
Yeah, that's how you know.
But I also think, maybe this is just, she's in the offing for a start.
Yeah.
She can definitely compete for a start at this point. But do you risk that? We had the Jamaica game is such a funny one, and I think this is maybe where France hold an edge, because they played Brazil and they had that really strong experience, whereas we played Jamaica, and how much can you take from that? I don't know, but Ella Toone played brilliantly in there, and if that's where James is going to come in, you might not want to change that with that momentum that they have. But equally, Lauren James, what a player. And to have her to start, to have her off the bench, either way, she is game-changing, and she has that little bit of magic. And I think just to hear that she can play more than 30 minutes, that she can make that impact, is brilliant news for Lionesses fans.
It's really, really good news. And actually, the France manager was asked about Lauren James in his press conference that I also sat in on. And he proceeded to basically shine a light on pretty much the whole England squad. And I will show you that clip now.
In this team, there are many famous players. You have James, but also Risso, a good striker in the front. And you have also Walsh in the middle, in the midfield. She can organize very well the teams. And many players like Park, Mead, or Toon, they can take the deep. And Stanway also, she can kick on the goal from far outside from the box. So we have to be focused on the opponent, but my philosophy of the game is also to be focused on our games, our philosophy, and how we have to manage the players, the team to win the game.
Very complimentary about just about everyone in the squad there, which is nice to hear, because I think there's a lot of chat about we're in the group of death, but like we're the reigning champions. It's good that these other teams are seeing us like that, and there's threats all over the pitch. It's not just about whether Lauren James can play or not. What do you make of France as opposition, Jamie?
I think France are definitely going to be a hard opposition for England, in the fact that they have a bit of revenge laced into this tournament, because the last two major tournaments, when they played at Euro 2022, they exited in the semi-finals, and then in the World Cup, they exited in the quarterfinals in a penalty shootout. So this is a team where the players and the plethora of talent that they have doesn't really match up with their final success, right? This is a team that have so much pace. You've got someone like Marie-Antoinette Katoto, who's probably one of the best strikers in the world right now, so fast. You've got someone like Sandy Baltimore, right? We've watched the WSL. We know what she's made of. The thing with Sandy Baltimore, though, is England players, someone like Niamh Charles, who plays with her, has gotten used to her playing deeper on the pitch, but she doesn't play deeper on the pitch for France. So that's another threat that they've got. So for France, it's really about pace, and it's about attacking endeavour. But I think at the back, right, Wendy Renard's obviously not there. France legend, she wasn't picked for the squad. So they are missing a bit of an experienced head in the defence. And I think England, like the France managers just highlighted, have so much talent in order to break that down. So I'm thinking a high scoring and very exciting game, but I wouldn't underestimate France at all.
Nice. Well, that brings us nicely on to our tops cards segment. Sorry, stickers, I should say. Laura, welcome to the show, of course. And a big part of our show is trying to complete this sticker book. So Tops have kindly sent us some stickers, and every day we open a pack of stickers each. So today we're going to be getting three packs, which is very exciting.
Saturday, everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And essentially, we have this amazing swapping platform online, gotswaps.club. Join it if you haven't. And we can swap with all our wonderful community so that we can all get stickers, swap stickers, and leave the tournament hopefully with completed sticker books. So, Laura, as our guest of honour, you can go first.
Oh,
Here we go.
This is a real honour.
Pressure is on.
This is like childhood.
Yeah.
You know, I don't actually have this one, but my first ever sticker book was a Tops one. So that.
There you
very
go.
Oh, there we go.
Shout out, Tops.
Yeah. God,
Okay.
the pressure's on now.
You have to do a dramatic reading.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
right. Wow. Okay, you ready for the first one?
we're ready.
It's a big Group D player. Wales' Fionn Morgan.
Oh wow,
Okay,
nice.
love that.
Next one. I love a shiny. You see a shiny, it's the best feeling. It's the Finland badge.
The Finland
Okay,
badge.
we need that one.
Yeah, we do.
Next up, we got an Italy player, Sofia Cantore.
Nice.
Ooh, this is a controversial one for England fans today.
Uh oh.
France's Selma Basher.
No.
Ooh,
What a player. Next up, Spain's Patrick Guijarro.
Oh,
that is
nice.
a pick.
Good to get
That is a
Patrick,
pick.
Yeah. And then finally, this is a special card. I don't know the album, sadly, but this looks very cool. And it's Denmark's Yanni Thompson.
I think that's a good pack.
I'm pretty
Nice.
happy with that.
That's a good
2
pack.
Group D.
Yeah.
Group D.
So,
Let's see if we can
All
pull
right,
an England
ready?
player.
Which one do you want? I'll let you decide.
Okay, I'll go here.
Okay.
Do you want me to go next?
Yeah, you go next.
Okay. We have.
This is the best part of my day.
this is so good.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, we've got a Polish player, Tanya Pawolek.
Nice.
We've got a WSL Norwegian player, Elizabeth Turland.
Good one. Good one.
We have got another Italy player, Martina Lenzini.
Nice.
Oh, this is a funny one. It's
no.
an England player.
Oh no.
It's a well-known Mary Earps.
no. Oh, that is not
It's
good.
Topical. It's topical.
It's topical. I mean,
Oh,
I'm delighted to
gosh.
get her in my book, to be fair. And we've got a brilliant Spain player. We've got Salma Pareo.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, this is going. You always get the best packs.
I do get good packs. And it's another badge. And again, we need it. It's a Sweden shiny badge.
Nice.
So, very happy with that.
That's a good pack.
We did get an England player.
Yeah.
Here we go. Shake off that bad omen. Okay, here we go. The moment of truth. Wrapping it up.
Okay, another Welsh player, Group D. We've
Yep.
got Kaylee Barton. She's very funny on TikTok. I highly recommend following her. Next one, we've got a Belgian player, Sarah Winhant.
Nice.
Okay, I'm sorry, a France player.
Oh, no.
Delphine Cascarino.
Uh-oh.
We've got to hope for an England player to
Yeah.
level it up.
I don't have hope for you, I'm sorry. We've got Icelandic player Selma Magnusdottir.
Nice.
And then Denmark's Sophie Svava. So a lot of Group D, but no England. I'm
It's all
very
right. We
sorry.
got one England player. That was all we
Too bad
needed.
she's not
We
here,
got.
though. Is that
I
a bad
know. I
thing?
know.
Wait, I've got one more card in my pack. I forgot.
Oh.
Oh, legend. Lara Dickerman. A
Oh.
legend card.
Great.
That's quite
Hoping it was going to be a
Great
late
card
England
to
shout
get.
there.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Swiss is cool.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
Host.
Home nation. Exactly.
Well, hopefully you guys open some England cards today. If not, get swapping. Join us on gotswaps.club. Enter all your cards there. We can do some amazing swaps and hopefully leave with some full sticker books. Okay, the other game in Group D today, Netherlands versus Wales. You are in your Netherlands kit, a brilliant orange. Wales tournament debutantes. What do we make of that fixture, Laura? How's that one going to go?
Yeah, I mean, the easy prediction is to say that the Netherlands will win. And it is really hard to look past that because they have so much depth of quality, the Dutch. But equally, we've seen, a slightly feisty press conference yesterday. Their manager, who knows what's going on behind the scenes, but he was speaking on a podcast just before the tournament about how he nearly quit. And that always throws things up into the air. And this Wales squad, they're doing things differently. They had their squad announcement up on Snowden. And I think that really sets them apart in a different way. And they can definitely come in and do something. They're kind of my outside shout for a bit of an upset. And I think if it comes against anyone in this group, it could definitely come against the Netherlands. So it's one to look out for. I think it would be really impressive if Wales do get anything. But yeah, who says no?
Who says no?
Who says no?
And we've got a question. Can Wales shake up the group? We want to hear from you,
Give
whether
us
they
your
can or not.
answers.
Let us know. Jamie, what's your take? Do you think Wales can cause any upsets in this group of death?
I'm not going to say that Wales are going to make it out of the group because
Yeah.
I think that's naive, but I do think that there's a draw in there. There's a point that they're going to steal, and I think it's going to really shake up one of the big hitters in this group. I think that they're in the best possible position. Your first major tournament, you want to be playing against these teams. You want
Yeah.
to be on the biggest stage. So I think if they manage, like Laura said, Rhian Wilkinson at the helm, she's employed a brilliant style of football at that team. So I think that they can shake it up and then maybe dislodge France, England, or Netherlands.
Ooh, hopefully not England.
Sorry, France or Netherlands.
Well, give me your predictions for this group then, because this group of death. Do we agree?
You don't like that name, do
No,
you?
I don't.
Yeah, it's fine. I kind of
believe in
agree.
England.
Yeah,
I think we can do it.
I like that.
And I want to know though, only 2 can get out of the 4. Who are the 2 who are going to escape the group?
Go.
Pressure's on now. I think so. Right now, because of that drama with the Netherlands manager, and the fact that they've not had the biggest build-up, I also think a lot of the Netherlands' hopes perhaps rest on how well their players can recover from injuries. We've had Miedemar's been out for a while, Palova's still coming back from that ACL injury, and I think those types of players are really key to how are they going to do. So they're a great side, and it's so hard to predict, and I don't like predicting against anyone, but I'd go England and France if I had to put my hat on it.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I think I'm similar. I think I'll go England and France as well. The only thing I'm worried about with either England or France, neither in particular, is the fact that they play each other first.
Yeah.
Netherlands get to play Wales, and I'm not saying it's a free hit because of just it's an inexperienced Welsh side, right? And it's obvious to say that the depth of quality in that Welsh side doesn't match up with the other 3 teams. So if the Netherlands can head into tonight's fixture and really just make their confidence high, play a style of football that they want to prolong across the entire tournament, I think that they'll gather momentum. I still think it will be England and France, but this first fixture is so important because I do think whoever loses tonight won't make it out of group stages.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel that there will be a winner tonight in the France-England game. And I'm going to go for England and Netherlands to get out of the group.
Yeah.
I'll keep it interesting as well. But yeah, it's a juicy group. That's for sure.
It is.
But hopefully England don't make it too juicy.
He's just nice and simple.
Just nice and
and simple.
Oh, well, of course, in these tournaments for the England team, downtime is a very important thing. And Leah Williamson was speaking yesterday to us in the press conference, and she was asked about downtime in the England camp.
The team have worked really, really hard. The staff to make our environment as much of a home away from home as possible. It's been lovely, like lots of social spaces, and I mean, whether or not this deteriorates as the tournament goes on, you spend every day together, but we're spending quite a lot of time together as it goes at the minute. Lots of Monopoly deal, cards, different games. We went out on a boat trip just to see the city that we were in on the day we arrived. So it's been nice, and there has been Love Island watching. It's the discussion around the table at breakfast. But yeah, we're supporting Giorgio, and then just trying to spend time together and relax as much as possible. But the staff, I have to give credit to the staff. They've done an incredible job setting that up for us.
Love Island, Monopoly deal, boat trips. It turns out I've got very similar interests to the Lionesses.
Go on, get your call up.
Leah mentioned they're all sort of watching Love Island, supporting Giorgio.
Can I be honest? I'm gutted that this tournament is at the same time as Love Island because I hate reality TV, but Love Island has something a little bit about it. So I was watching it, then I'd stop watching it because I came here. So yeah, I'm kind of relying on Arsenal fans on Twitter to tell me what's going on.
No, it's true. I mean, like big summers for both the Russo siblings, right?
The Russo parents must be so proud.
Yeah. And I think her other brother has recently had a kid.
Yeah,
so literally a very exciting time for the Russo family at the moment. And it was funny because when we were at the media day a few weeks ago now, one of our questions to the players in the game we did was who's most likely to go on Love Island, and we asked that to Alessia Russo, and she had a bit of a twinkle in her eye. She said, maybe I should say myself. Oh no, it's not me. And then turns out it's her brother.
Yeah. The next day the news dropped, and I was saying, "Wow, we need to watch that clip back." She didn't give
any hints. No hints from her. And I think Kiara Keating as well also said, oh, if I wasn't here in Switzerland, I'd be in the Love Island villa. So
It was funny because we spoke to so many England players. Nearly every single player said Kiara
Kiara
Keating would be
Keating
there.
most likely
I don't
to
know
go
what that
on.
means, but good for her.
For sure. Yeah, a lot of Love Island and Lionesses crossover. I love it. I love
odd,
it.
isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's nice that they've got that good dynamic going on. We caught a bit of training yesterday. It looks like the morale is good. How important is all the, off-pitch stuff when it comes to actually performing well for the England side?
So important. I think we've seen, especially at a club level in the last 12 months, what's most important some of the time isn't the managerial tactics. It's not how the manager sets up the team and how they approach it. That is obviously the number one element in terms of playing. But if the players aren't happy and they're not connecting on a moral level, there's always going to be a disconnect. And I think we see that with a lot of the big hitters in this competition. Even Norway, we've seen for the last 10 years, they've got so much talent, but they've not got the moral connection where they're playing for each other, they're playing for the manager. So for England, it's always been about that. And I think that's why Euro 2022 was so special. It was because everything felt like a fairy tale for England. It felt like the script was written. The players loved it. The players wanted to be there. They were playing such fluid and exciting football because of that. So for England to protect their inner circle right now and make sure that that bubble is so cohesive and happy, that's the number one thing. Because Laura mentioned it earlier, the media attention around them has been absolutely astronomical right now. And they need to tune off that noise, and they need to make sure they're going into this tournament happy, ready, and just listening to each other and ready to support each other.
Yeah, for sure. I actually was watching a bit of the Daily Brightness podcast as well. Legends Rachel Daly and Millie Bright, obviously both featured in the last Euros. And Rachel Daly said something. Sorry, another Love Island reference here. But Rachel Daly said that tournament, like leaving that tournament, was like they'd all been on Love Island, because they went in as totally like unknown quantities and left with absolutely everyone. They like couldn't leave the house, they had to like run to their car. I was like, that's so interesting, because they will never feel that kind of environment again, because now everybody knows who the Lionesses are and everybody's watching them, and it's so exciting. But I just thought that was so true, because you're going in, like they went into that tournament with we spoke about earlier, the lack of expectation and not as many people watching women's football, and what they did was so incredible that everyone started watching it. And it is amazing.
My favorite anecdote is when Ella Toon was speaking. It was like a few days after the parade or the meetup in Trafalgar Square, and she said she was like papped, eating a pasty out the front of her house, and she was like, "What is going on? Like, this is crazy." So yeah, it's gone crazy, isn't it? Everyone knows the Lionesses now.
Yeah, it is. It is very exciting. And Laura, what is it about this England team that is exciting you most, that you're most looking forward to seeing tonight in Zurich?
Wow. Yeah, big question. I think it'd be really interesting to see how they do, because I think on Jamie's point, Serena Wiegmann did keep emphasizing this team is really well bonded. And I think that is such an interesting thing that she picked up on multiple times throughout that press conference. That's clearly a really key, like, barometer for her of what a squad needs to be before they enter a tournament. So I think it will be really interesting to see the lineup, and then secondly to kind of, because from Serena Wiegmann's past tournaments, that's likely going to be the lineup for going forward. Obviously, maybe Lauren James fitness dependent. And so just to see those link ups, like I think being at a major tournament, watching football, being in that environment of in a stadium, seeing the traveling Lionesses fans, all of that is just going to be so joyous. And then hopefully that translates on the pitch and we get some really brilliant football to watch. And I think, the French will bring it. And I think that will be such an exciting dynamic, because I think both these teams have such attacking quality that it could be a really open and exciting game with some really, really nice football to watch.
Yeah, watch how it's a 0-0 now. No,
it absolutely will
be. Not manifesting that, please. No, it's true. I think for me, I'm so excited about just seeing those young players as well, the ones that maybe people don't know so much about, the people who are watching the people who aren't watching the WSL week in, week out, who might not be so familiar with the likes of Aggie Beaver-Jones, Grace Clinton, even Michelle Adjeman, who might end up getting some minutes based on, how she played in that game. But yeah, I think that's really, really exciting, because that just gives England's such a secret weapon. People don't know about these players, and that can go the same for those other teams as well. Although from the sound of it, the French manager knows the ins and outs of absolutely every single England player. But yeah, Jamie, how about you? What are you most excited about?
I'm really, really excited for this group. And I was going to follow in exactly with what you're saying. Just the youth talent in Group D is so exciting. So England obviously have Aggie Beaver-Jones. They've got Grace Clinton. They've even got Lauren James, who we forget how young she is because of how good she is, which is insane to me because their ceiling is astronomical. But in Group D right now, it's about young players making a move. You look at the Netherlands, you've got Vika Kaptein of Chelsea, who will definitely be looking to make a mark on the international stage. Villa Berman is their centre back. She's 18 years old. 2 years ago, she was playing with boys. Like, she was playing at an amateur level with boys, and now she's starting for the Netherlands. So for me, this tournament, it's about learning who the next generation of stars are, and I think Group D perfectly encapsulates that.
Nice. Well, we do have a poll going. Who is going to win Group D? I'm seeing some comments coming through. Jamie, we've got?
Come on, England.
Yeah, nice.
Someone said Netherlands.
Netherlands to
Interesting.
win. Yeah, okay.
Someone's given us a score prediction for the game.
let's hear it.
France 3, England 2,
Oh.
says Charles. That's an interesting one. And then 170 Gunner said England and the Netherlands. And then 170 Gunner also said Netherlands got a quality keeper in Daphne van Domselaar, which is very true.
Very true. I think he's got Gunner in his name.
Yeah, cannon for an icon.
No bias there whatsoever. We've also got a brilliant goalkeeper in Hannah Hampton. Huge shout out to Hannah Hampton. I called her as my player of the tournament before, just saying.
Yeah.
And we always ask for a highlight of your yesterday. So have you got one, Jamie?
It was not coming home from St. Gallen because let me tell you, I got home at about 3:45. I'm exhausted. So I'm very sorry if I'm not at my best today.
After this.
I must have a nap. But yeah, it was being in that stadium again. Like, the match highlight was hearing the Polish fans, tournament debutantes. There were so many of them and they were so loud. So it's so special. I love major tournaments and I'm excited to see that with Wales as well.
Laura, have you got a highlight from yesterday?
For me, well, it was my first day in Switzerland. So for me, I think just being in the press conference, making it all feel a bit real with Leah Williamson and Serena Wiegman in front of you. And, you know, this is match day -1. We're at the Euros. So I think that would definitely be a highlight for me.
Yeah, I think for me, it's got to be the press conference, but quite specifically how packed that press conference room was.
Yes.
For the England players, for Serena Wiegman and Leah Williamson, and actually I ended up staying and watching the France one as well, and that was also really busy. And I think that is such an incredible sign. People were struggling to get a seat in the England one, right? People going, "Oh, is anyone sitting here?" Like, I was with the camera, like, no space on the platform, had to go on the floor. I've not had that in women's football really, so seeing that here. It's just an amazing sign, and really proud to be a part of that. And it's just incredible to see how far women's football has come already. I know it's still a long way to go, but yeah, hopefully this tournament will really epitomise that. That was really lovely. Well, that just about brings us to the end of this show. Don't want it to end because I want to keep talking about England, but I think what we will do is let the players do the talking on the pitch later on. Thank you so much for joining, Jamie, as always. And Laura, we've loved having you. Please do come back if you
thank you for having me.
Still in Zurich. We'd love to have you back. And thank you guys for watching, as always. I didn't actually mention today because we don't have the QR code up, but we do have the quiz in the description of our YouTube link. And also, if you're listening on podcasts, the quiz is also in there. Please do get involved in our daily quiz. Laura, give it a go, yeah?
Absolutely.
No pressure.
Straight on it now.
Yeah, great. Hope you've been enjoying that daily quiz. It will keep coming to you, so do get involved. There's going to be some great prizes up for grabs. Thank you for watching, for listening, and we will see you again, same time tomorrow, where hopefully we'll be talking about some good news from England. In the meantime, enjoy the match tonight, the 2 matches tonight, I should say. Sending all the best to all the teams, especially England. And see you same time tomorrow. Thanks for watching.